COD Zombies is back. And I don't mean that lightly. After years of frustration, feeling like the game strayed further and further from what people grew to know and love, with Black Ops 7 Zombies, it looks like we finally got a game that everyone can enjoy. And today, I'm here to show you why. We're discussing what might be some of the best changes in COD Zombies history, and also the few remaining problems that fans are still worried about, but most importantly, how after this point, both the game and community will never be the same again. And to get things started off, I think it's best we talk about the problems that have finally gotten addressed after years of feedback. And of course, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room. We finally have classic COD Zombies. This is something that we as fans have been asking for since as early as Black Ops 4 in 2018. And we've finally gotten it, but it's actually even better than we thought. And so the base of the classic mode, also known as Cursed, is gonna have no loadout weapons, no armor, no minimap, and the classic COD Zombies point system. And also what looks to be no rarities as well. Like, this is exactly what people have been asking for, but it's not just that. You can make the game even more classic with the idea of relics. And this essentially works exactly how it did in Extinction, where you can kind of mix and match different relics to make the experience exactly what you like, with other things like the 4 perk limit and no ammo boxes basically making the game even more classic, where if you don't like it, you don't have to play with it, but if you do like it, you're actually gonna unlock more Easter eggs within that mode. Where in this mode, the more classic that you make it, the more content you're going to unlock in the map. And these quests to unlock these relics that are going to be exclusive to this mode are essentially going to be acting like an old school Easter egg. But the thing is that they didn't just listen in terms of giving us a classic mode. There's so many other core gameplay changes that are actually almost as important as this. One of which being the mystery box. Now, first thing I gotta address, it's the Origins mystery box. That's awesome, the first box reskin since Black Ops 4, but the box has actually been reworked to where lesser rarities are finally gonna get phased out as time goes on. There's no more score streaks or melee weapons in the box, debloating it, but you still might be thinking, why would I hit the box? Now there are ether tools in the box to upgrade your rarity, where even if you don't want to swap out your weapon, you can actually spin for a random upgrade on your current gun. But in terms of weapons, the box is only one half of the equation. The other half is wall guns. And these I'm pretty happy about. Now, one thing to note is the cost of upgrading your rarity on the first 2 levels has been increased in Salvage, making those earlier levels that much more important. So now both the box and wall guns are going to be more impactful. But something else that's cool is that fire sales are now going to apply to traps and wall buys, giving you a discounted cost. You might be thinking, why would I not just spend the box instead of getting a wall buy? Well, they finally brought back how Zombies always worked, where wall guns will give you discounted ammo prices. And you can even buy it back off the wall. This is one of those things I've been asking for 5 years straight. But while we're on the topic of ammo, let's talk about the ammo boxes. The ammo box finally looks like Zombies. It's not just a supply drop for multiplayer. I love stuff like this. But speaking of ammo, something else I absolutely love to see is the max ammo refills equipment once again. Oh my god, another one of those things asking for so long. You'll love to see it. Max ammos can finally be important again. Now, I kind of want to switch gears into one of the most controversial mechanics in modern Zombies, that being armor. And while yeah, it's not going to be a thing in the Cursed Classic mode, in the Standard mode it has had some tweaks to it that are actually still pretty good. A small thing is that the armor now just has one location that upgrades over time, but the real meat comes from the augments that affect armor, where even though I don't really mind, I know a lot of people hate the fact that you have to apply your armor in modern Zombies. And so if you prefer Cold War, there's a new Vulturate augment that will allow you to automatically plate up your vest without having to do that. And another thing with armor is that if you hate damage scaling just like me, there's a new Jug augment where once your armor breaks, you're going to have a temporary health boost, which should hopefully help when on those higher rounds, once your armor breaks, you're not left completely hopeless. And since we're talking about high rounds, let's talk about high rounds. These are actually some of my favorite changes here. There has now been a hard cap at damage scaling around round 100. The absolutely huge, because getting up into the point where you can get 1 to 2 hit on those later rounds is insane. And the scaling of things has actually been smoothed out instead of just randomly hitting a wall at random round milestones. But when they do happen, you're now going to have a unique audio cue finally letting you know, hey, zombies have been buffed up in damage. And the zombies themselves have had some really good changes too. There's going to be less super sprinters, thank God. There's going to be less enemy spam in general, and armored zombies won't even sprint anymore on those high rounds. All fantastic changes. But aside from the core zombies, we've got the other enemies. And with these, they've said that they're going to be actually giving us less projectile-based enemies, which is really, really good. We've needed this the entire year of Black Ops 6. And one of those biggest complaints about this entire year has been the reuse of enemies over and over again. And they have said that they want to go back to the unique enemy design of Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, with each map having its own unique enemy pool. And another one of those things that's been torn to shreds in Black Ops 6 Zombies has been the balancing of a lot of the core perks. But thankfully, we have finally gotten some tweaks to this. Now, you're going to keep all of your progress for your augments and stuff like that moving into Black Ops 7, with 2 brand new ones and also the ability to equip an extra minor one once you got them fully leveled up. But the coolest thing is some of the new additions and changes, with something like Death Perception, which is dog shit. But not anymore, because now you're going to actually be able to detect enemies from behind you and take less damage from behind, which should be pretty helpful in that classic mode essentially acting like a shield, as there's not going to be any armor in that mode. We've got some other great changes too, like 𝘿𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙮𝙻 turtle shell now giving you damage mitigation from the front, basically making that modern gameplay loop feel more like classic zombies. But one of the best changes I've seen is actually with Melee Macchiato, which yeah, they buffed the base version of it, but the new augments here are what is really exciting, with one of them replacing your punch with your dedicated melee weapon, finally giving us the ability to have the classic knifing system, and that paired alongside the other new augment that gives you more points for melee kills, finally giving us an option to not have our money nerfed when using melee. Now that entire weapon class is useful again here in COD Zombies. And while I'm feeling good, I want to power through a couple great changes here. Turning on the power is back, and they even have the classic power switch. And the reason this is so important is that we've literally had no power quest for the entirety of Black Ops 6 Zombies aside from one map, and that was Terminus at launch. Another thing is that the fade to black is back. You don't just plop into the map like you do in Black Ops 6. You're gonna fade in from black and it's gonna feel more like zombies. I know it's a small thing, but it's one of those things that does matter. And another really cool thing is that we're gonna not just be able to have customizable HUDs again, but we're actually gonna be able to have HUD themes giving us the classic not just layout, but look of other zombies HUDs. And the Wonder Fizz won't spawn now until you've bought 4 perks, which I think is great because it encourages you to buy your perks from the machines first. And the random perk power-up is now a part of the drop cycle, which is super interesting. And also now equipment and perks can no longer kill last zombie, which is something we've wanted for as long as I can remember. But honestly, we didn't just get listened to for what we were asking for, we also had some stuff that we didn't even expect. And so now I want to hop into some of those new additions that are really, really cool, with the absolute biggest one being a Zombies beta. Now you're seeing this in the background and maybe even playing it for yourself. This might be the single biggest thing we've ever needed in COD Zombies. Even with all of these great changes and additions, any critiques or problems we still have for the core game can now be found and given to the devs to then be changed for launch. And it's stuff like this, things we were wishing we could have for years. This is what makes me feel this is a true return to COD Zombies. But real quick, let's talk about some of the new content. We got a brand new perk, Wisp-T, and this is basically a fully customizable summon. Think like Bloodwolf Bite from Black Ops 4, but kind of more customizable, where you can basically have a spirit that'll either do more damage, can revive you, heal you, kind of act like a monkey bomb, and you can even send it to go pick up drops and stuff for you like a Hell's Retriever. We got 6 brand new gums, all of which are looking really good, but you know what? Maybe you don't like them. Maybe you hate the Gobble Gum system. Well, now you can just spawn in and crush your balls and immediately get extra points. And the amount of points you would get from each is going to scale depending on the type of rarity. So if you don't like gums, just crush them, throw away, get some points. We got some cool new enemies here with some Gimlins that basically look like they're from Transit, and we also got a Zombear, this big old guy. And hey, even the Ray Gun Mark II is coming back, which you love to see, and we got a brand new wonder weapon with the Necrofluid Gauntlet, which looks like something straight out of the BO3 to BO4 era. You love to see it. And we've also got some new content that's kind of returning content from the past, with all field upgrades, perks, and ammo mods carrying over from Black Ops 6, Toxic Growth from Cold War Zombies is coming back, and Fireworks from Black Ops 3 is coming back as well. But aside from round-based, we got Deadops Arcade 4, which is basically so big it's no longer zombies, it's going to be its own mode. They literally refer to it in the blog post as the 5th mode of the game. And it's gonna go full roguelike with stuff like shops and even round-based zombies mechanics, like gums, field upgrades, and ammo mods. But even something like Deadops is going to be full of different ways to play. You got the standard experience with these new cool mechanics. You got a casual mode to make it easier if you're a new player. You got first person, which I absolutely love. And there's also just a hardcore mode coming on the way that's going to make it just classic Deadops Arcade. Oh, and the next map, it's coming in Season 1 again, which honestly I think is great to see. We're going to get it probably early 2026 or even before. We might even get it here this year. Now, while there's a lot of good changes, a few bad ones kind of stuck out in my head too. One in particular being that the mutant injection is still in the game. I just think that this mechanic needs a full overhaul. I would rather it just not be in the game. We'll see how it's balanced, but I'm really not a fan of it. But another thing I was not a fan of hearing about is that the field upgrades are going to earn a lot faster there in your matches. And I really do not like this change because it was one of the biggest problems with Black Ops 4. Same thing with Cold War Zombies. They fixed it in Black Ops 6, but now they're reverting that, so not a fan of that. And there's also a couple of less so gameplay related things that I did also want to touch on here. One of which being that Microsoft just upped the Game Pass price by $10 the day before the beta even started. And yeah, that one should speak for itself. But another thing is just generally how COD Next was handled this year. I mean, there was this whole beta controversy with the Zombies beta where no one could even figure out when it started and when it would end. And of course, during COD Next, they didn't learn their lessons from last year, and once again butted in, just ending the sessions of the few COD Zombies creators they actually had there. Now, I totally understand that they don't want to show us too much, but the way that the team communicates this with the few Zombies creators that are actually there, it just doesn't feel good. It feels kind of disrespectful. And the last thing there about that COD Next presentation was kind of just the way that they showed the game, mainly with the HUD. Once again, everything is turned on by default, and it makes the game look 10 times worse than it actually would when you get your hands on it. But here's the thing, we do have Zombies HUD themes on the way, so that alone should help alleviate this. But yeah, there should be a unique Zombies HUD just by default. But honestly, when one of the main complaints people have upon seeing the game is just the HUD, it's a pretty good sign. And with that said, not everything they've done here is good. I now want to dive into some of the bad things here that people are still upset about. Now, the first thing here is actually an ongoing problem, and it's the drip-fed and reused content. Now, in the blog post, there was a disclaimer that the ammo mods 𝘿𝙞𝙨𝙾𝙪𝙮, Shatterblast, and field upgrades Tesla Storm, Frostblast, and Mr. Peaks are not going to be added until Season 1. And this is just a bigger part of an ongoing problem. Drip feeding was already one of the biggest concerns leading up into this game. We dealt with it all year with Black Ops 6, with even some main Easter eggs being time-gated due to this drip feeding issue. And even going into the initial reveal, it was met with a lot of criticism, with them only giving us one survival map and drip feeding the rest to us after launch. And the thing is that this is just such an unbelievably awful problem that keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and just needs to stop. It feels so weird that we just got the Mr. Peaks field upgrade and then we're gonna have it for like 2 to 3 months, then the new game comes out, removes it, and then gives it to us like a month later back in Season 1. Now, there is a bright side here where these are actually going to come with new augments and stuff like that, so that is gonna lessen the blow a little bit. And if this was the first time it happened, it wouldn't be nearly as big of a deal. But the issue is that this is a part of a way bigger problem that just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And the next and maybe biggest thing that people seem to be upset about is cursed mode. Now, yeah, overall this is fantastic, but it also doesn't mean that it's perfect. And maybe if we talk about these kind of things, we can get them addressed before launch and they can be taken into account. And the main two things here that people are worried about with it is untouched modern mechanics and it being locked at launch. One of, if not the biggest thing that really has to be taken into account is damage scaling. It does not work without armor. We have armor in COD Zombies for a reason. It's because the damage scales. And the fact that they have not mentioned this yet is a bit worrying. It very well could work. I mean, it could work exactly like old COD Zombies, just 50 per hit. But as of what we know right now, it's modern zombies without armor. And if that's the case, early rounds are still going to be too easy even without loadouts because it'll be a 5-hit down, and the later rounds are going to be aggravatingly annoying if not unplayable, as having upwards of 90 damage on those later rounds with no armor and super sprinters is going to be awful. Thankfully, they have tweaked damage scaling and nerfed it a bit here in this game, but even with that set in place, it still would not be good. And the thing is that even if it is, maybe we've got a relic that's either there at launch or coming shortly afterwards in post-launch that'll give us the ability to take that out. But the thing that people are more upset about, other than just the modern mechanics potentially carrying over, is the fact that the mode is locked at launch. Now, this isn't really something that I touched on earlier, but yeah, this mode is not going to be available as soon as you hop in on day one. It has to be first unlocked through some task. And by the sounds of things, it seems like it's by completing the main quest. And yeah, part of it is cool. It plays into what made the mode so special in the first place, kind of a nod to World at War in Black Ops 1, where in order to unlock zombies, you had to complete the campaign. And same thing in Black Ops 1, but for unlocking the whole new map, that being 5. Like, the fact that it's even here in this game at all is insane. And the thing is that it's not just people being unappreciative here, because part of it does suck. One thing being Easter egg hunts. If this is the case, there will not be any Easter egg hunting for those who prefer classic zombies, essentially locking that main quest hunt behind the modern standard mode. And in my opinion, locking the Easter egg hunt to one of those two modes is just not a good decision. But another big thing is that there's a lot of casual fans that want that classic mode. I've already seen countless people talk about this. They want to buy Black Ops 7 solely just for the return of classic zombies. And they do not want to have to slog through some random other task in standard mode to get access to the main reason they're purchasing the game. But there's one last thing that really has a lot of people worried with that, and it's that the hidden nature of it will inevitably lead to less players, especially if it's locked behind something like a quest. Like, lots of casuals don't even care about doing a main quest. They just play zombies for the core fun gameplay. And this also means there's a brand new opportunity for Activision to be like, oh, they're only 25% of players play cursed mode, it's so bad, guys. When in reality, of course that's the case because they created this situation to happen where it's literally inevitable. But the thing is, there's still time for change. Something that would be great is that even if it is locked, at least unlock it for everyone at the launch of Season 1. where basically if you want to play it day one, it's essentially early access for the most hardcore fans. But honestly, I really feel like the base mode should just be unlocked, and instead making that original task, whatever it might be the ability to apply those relics to that mode. And this brings us to the last thing that people are upset about, and that being Black Ops 7 is essentially Black Ops 6 Part 2. And the point here is that there's just a lot of content and systems being carried over from Black Ops 6. I totally understand. I mean, we do want new ideas here in COD Zombies, but to be completely honest, does it really matter now? I totally understood and even backed this critique before the full reveal, but with a lot of that Black Ops 6 content and those modern mechanics carrying over, therefore the standard modern experience. Yeah, it's more Black Ops 6, but better for those who love Black Ops 6. Yet there's this entirely other new separate experience, that being Cursed, where we've got expanded side content and customizable mechanics for hardcore fans. It's clear this is where the time and effort went into for the new content within Black Ops 7. And those Black Ops 6 elements carrying over are just the icing on top of the cake for those fans to be able to enjoy more of what they love. It's just more content allowing more people to enjoy the game. So honestly, I think this was the best possible option, allowing both modern and classic fans to finally enjoy a zombies game together. And with our community being as divided and as toxic as it is right now, this is exactly what we needed to see. And you know what? That brings us perfectly into how things have pretty much changed forever with the impact of Black Ops 7 Zombies. Now, I'll be the one to say it, the road up until where we're at right now was an absolute shit show. Going from what was the mess of Black Ops 6 Zombies finale, leading into the fumbling of the initial reveal, to then having our quote-unquote week of zombies being pushed back over and over and over again without any communication. But when they finally got to that finish line, they stuck the landing. And even that's underselling it. They crushed it. We've got things we've been asking for years, over and over and over again. And it also seems that the reason that things even got pushed back in the first place is because Treyarch actually listened to the initial reveal feedback from the people who played it early, and made both big and small changes to the mode before showing it to the world. And I know there's a lot of you out there, and I've already interacted with a handful of you, that are gonna pull out the "you're an Activision shill card, how much did they pay you?" And to you guys, I got one thing to say. We as fans finally got what we were asking for years. And we're not supposed to be excited? No matter the mode, they've altered the mystery box to make it matter again, give us a reason to hit it. Wall guns finally have a purpose again too. Max ammos finally work how they used to in old zombies. Power is back, the atmosphere is back. The boring multiplayer stuff now looks like zombies. Tac sprint is gone, high rounds have been toned down. No more reused and spammed enemies. And we've got a whole new customizable classic mode with no armor, no loadouts, no minimap, the original point system, no ammo boxes, a 4 perk limit, and even more that we don't even know about yet. We now have a package for everyone to enjoy, both modern and classic fans. You don't like Black Ops 6? Use some augments to make it more like Cold War Zombies. Standard too complicated? We got survival. And if it's too hard, hop into directed. Not hard enough? Boom, classic Cursed mode. Not classic enough? Make it more classic with the relics. And if you're just burnt on zombies in general, hop into Deadops 4. This is not being a shill. This is them giving us what we asked for years, and they deserve praise for that. This reveal might just be the biggest moment in Zombies history. I get that there's still issues here and there, but let people be excited and enjoy this moment that we fought over half a decade for. And even with those remaining issues, I'm confident that those can finally be addressed during this game, especially with the fact that us, the community, are getting our own hands on it for the first time ever during the beta to provide feedback ourselves. COD Zombies is a mode that only exists today due to that collaboration between the devs and the community. Series staples like Sam only came to life because people misheard the zombies saying something and started speculating, and the devs ran with it, and that's what made it what it was. And it wasn't until the game started to become something else, when that community feedback felt like it was slowly stopped being accounted for, was when the mode stopped feeling like quote-unquote zombies. Something like that stretch from Black Ops 4 to MWZ didn't just feel bad due to the modern mechanics being there, or the lack of classic mechanics. It's because the community's feedback on everything felt like it was being discarded. And that's why after seeing all these changes here alongside the beta even being a thing, it's clear that COD Zombies will never be the same again. Because they've finally taken that step back in the direction of the roots of what made the mode so successful in the first place. The mode is being crafted and built alongside the community. Not even just hardcore fans, but everyone. Now we have gotten a game where we can all enjoy it. And finally, slowly but surely, coming together once again as a community, stomping out that overwhelming toxicity and division that's been brewing for years. Even with the negativity still out there, this is by far the most overwhelmingly positive moment in the mode's history since the golden age of COD Zombies. So for finally bringing back that beloved classic gameplay, for taking those first steps to uniting our community once again, and for returning to making us fans a part of what makes Zombies what it is. All I gotta say to you, Treyarch, is a sincere and genuine thank you. I think it's safe to say COD Zombies is truly back. But I'm also curious, what are your thoughts on Black Ops 7 Zombies? And also, what are you looking forward to the most? Let me know down in the comments. And you know what, if this video was too positive for you, go ahead and check out the video on screen now, where I set out to find the worst changes in COD Zombies history. Well, that's about it for me. See ya.